Welcome back to my channel. If you couldn't tell by the title and the large stack of books in front of me, you would know what this video is going to be. So this has to be one of my favorite videos ever to watch and now to film, because the amount of times that I've searched for this particular video or scrolled on TikTok to find videos like this as many times as I can in a day, I figured why not contribute to that content and just make a video of my own. So that's what we're doing here today. I went just a little crazy recently buying more books. So this is my giant stack of books that I've bought within the last couple weeks maybe. And it's a problem, but we all have them. Everyone has problems. This just happens to be one of them, for me at least. So I'm gonna put these into a stack that makes a little bit more sense, because there are a couple series in here, and that's a lot coming from me. I don't typically like to read series. I like to read standalones because it's just less of a commitment for me, and granted that I'm not the fastest reader and I can't read 17 books in a month, I just like reading standalones. It makes me feel a little bit more accomplished than reading series. But there's some series in here I just couldn't pass up, and I know you see the one in the corner. But we'll get to that. I hope you enjoy, and I'm gonna go through these in the way that makes the most sense. So the first books that I'm going to be talking about, I'm so excited to read. They just scream spring to me, or summer, spring/summer. I truly hope to get through these by the end of summer, just because of course I bought so many books. It's gonna be hard to narrow down which ones I want to read next. But to start off, it's going to be the Chestnut Spring series by Elsie Silver. I am so excited to read these. Of course, I've been influenced by every booktuber and every book talker to read this series. It's just, one, can we just appreciate that they all match and they're so aesthetically pleasing. So the first book that I got from the series obviously is Heartless by Elsie Silver, and this book I believe is about like a girl who goes to nanny for a single dad. And I've heard this book can get a little spicy, and I'm very excited about it. That's pretty much all I know about this, is that she comes to nanny for this like kind of grumpy not old, I guess I just associate grumpy and old together, but a grumpy single dad and his 13-year-old daughter, I believe. Yeah, Grumpy Sunshine. I'm excited and really want to pick this up sometime soon. So that's the first book that I got. The second one is Reckless in the Chestnut Spring series. I think these are all like in the same universe. I could be totally wrong. But look at like just the front covers too. Like this one has like a tumbleweed, I think, or just rolled up hay, and like a guitar. And then this one has like two cowboy boots, and look at the tiny one. Like, are you kidding? So stinking cute. I don't know a lot about this one. The only book that I really knew a lot about going into the series was this one, and I don't know very much. But I kind of like going into books blind. He's a bull rider, a ladies' man, and she has sworn off of men. I'm so excited. Like, you have no idea. This series, I'm so excited to read. So that's the second one. Third one is Flawless. Again, look at the cover of these. So gorgeous. Oh. The back says, the rules were simple. Keep my hands off his daughter and stay out of trouble. Oh, I think this is the book that there's like a dad who, how do I explain this? Okay, so basically an actor who needs to clean up his image, and his agent has a daughter and she's kind of responsible for him. Honestly, I'm just in love with this series and I haven't even read it yet. And the last one is Powerless. I'm not sure if there's like a specific order you have to read these. I'm definitely gonna look it up before I start reading. Like a dancer and maybe like a childhood friends to lover book. Oh my god, it matches my little sweater. Look at these covers, are just amazing. I love them so much. So I'm really excited to pick these up and read them once I get the chance to. These will just look so good in my collection of books. Everybody just loves Elsie Silver, so I feel like I will too. I'm going so slow talking about each of these books and I have like so many. So another book that I picked up is The Final Offer. I actually got this for Prime Day and it was so cheap. I think it was like $8 or $9 and I have the first two, Terms and Conditions and where is it? And the fine print. So I have those two already, and this is the last one to the Dreamland Billionaire series. This is the last brother. It's really funny because I haven't even started the first two, but I saw this on Prime Day and I just kind of needed it because I already had the first two. Haven't started them, but I needed to complete the series, so I got this book. Everybody says that this one is their favorite. I am really excited to read it. I hear such good things about this series, especially this book, and I figure I have to read the other two in order to get to this one. So when I saw it on Amazon Prime Day, I had to pick it up because it was super cheap and I've been dying to read and finish the series as well. Okay, this book I'm also so excited to read about. There is a girl who is a lawyer and it's basically about a girl, her name is Lizzie, and she is a really successful lawyer, but even though she's like super proud of like all her achievements, she ends up like having some sort of like epiphany or like anxiety attack that like helped her realize that maybe she needs to either take a step back or figure things out for a while. And so she goes to her small town that she used to spend summers there with her childhood best friend, and she just goes hoping to figure things out. And I know when she gets there they like end up running or helping out at like this bookstore, and like how cute is the cover? I'm not gonna lie, the cover really sold me. It's just such a cute cover. So I'm excited to read this, and look how cute. I'm like, I cannot get over these cute covers. I'm gonna be completely honest, this book also just sold me because of the cover. Sarah Caroli on here on YouTube picked up this book and I actually really love the cover art. Like, I just cannot get over it. It's so unique, different, and beautiful. Also the story, best friend's brother or her brother's best friend, one of the two. No, yeah, her brother's best friend, and I kind of am loving it. Small town, and it doesn't seem that long of a book. I think it's only like 300 pages. Yeah, like 310 pages, and it looks like a pretty fast read, so I'm excited. I honestly have absolutely no idea what this book is about, but I did see it on Book Talk and somebody said they loved it, so how could I say no? I think this is actually also a series, and apparently I really love getting series even though I don't start them. But this one's called Love and Gelato, and again, they just know how to do these covers right, man. Lena is spending the summer in Tuscany, but she isn't in the mood for Italy's famous sunshine and fairy tale landscape. She's only there because it was her mother's dying wish that she get to know her father. But what kind of father isn't around for 16 years? All Lena wants to do is go back home. But then she's given a journal that her mom had kept when she lived in Italy. Suddenly, Lena's uncovering a magical world of secret romances, art, and hidden bakeries. A world that inspires her, along with the ever-so-charming Ren, to follow in her mother's footsteps and unearth a secret that has been kept for far too long. It's a secret that will change everything Lena knew about her mother, her father, and even herself. People come to Italy for love and gelato, someone tells her, but sometimes they discover much more. It might be Lena, actually. I kept saying Lena, but I think it's Lena. I feel like this would be such a good read if you're like going on vacation. Like if you're having a Europe vacation, travel, summer era. How cute would this book be? I kind of want to read this one just to see the other books as well. There's one called Love and Luck and Love and Olives. So I'm excited. And this one is it just screamed summer read to me. So that's why I picked it up. I don't really know how to explain this book, but I heard somebody on Book Talk again talking about it, and one, it seems like a really big challenge by the sheer length of it, but also because, oh my god, look how tiny the letters are, but also because how halfway through they stop telling you who they're talking about, but also soul-crushingly sad and will leave you damaged for the rest of your life, is what I've heard. So I think, as intrigued as I am by this book, I don't think I'm gonna read it until I get a little further in my reading journey. It's just really intimidating, and I just hear it tears people apart and that they cannot live day to day without thinking about some characters in this book. But I wanted to have it here with me in my collection when I was ready to pick it up. I'm just really excited, honestly. I cannot wait until I'm ready for this, but I just don't think I'm there yet in my reading journey. But I wanted to have it in the case that that day comes. So yeah, okay, so I picked up this book, even though I've heard very, very mixed opinions about this. I think because if you don't look at the trigger warnings on this, I heard, you know, it's that you should look at the trigger warnings. I'm not going to go into the details of what I heard this book is about. I just know that it's a very, very sad book, and it takes a lot to read it, but that it's very worth it at the end. One day when I'm in need of a good cry, that I will reach for this book. This book is so tiny and the letters are so big, but I read this book a couple years ago. Honestly, I can't even remember when, but it truly changed my life. I still think about a lot of the stories I read in this book, and it's such a small and quick read. If you just like want to read it all in one go, you totally can. I just don't know what happened to my copy of this book, but I saw it on Amazon Prime Day, so I had to pick it up. I needed it in my collection. I also wanted to reread it because I feel like sometimes you just need to find a new perspective on life, and I feel like this book gave that to me when I read it a couple years ago. And I feel like since I've grown, it's been a couple years, it's always good to like refresh, and maybe some other stories will impact me a lot more than it did in the past. So I'm honestly really excited to read this again. It just tells a bunch of stories or incidents that have happened to people, and different ways that you can shift your perspective on it and find happiness in situations that might not seem so happy. And another like self-help book that I got, because while I do love reading romance books and fantasy, thrillers, mysteries, I do love a good self-help book. That's kind of how I got back into my journey of reading again, was reading self-help books. So I also picked up The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. Pretty sure I read this a couple years back. Don't remember much about it. I also don't know where my original copy is, so I picked this up as well. It just teaches you how to be in the now, not worry about the past, not worry about the future, either combat not living in the present or showing more appreciation and gratefulness for the moments that we do have. I just feel like it's always good to balance out like some reading when you're reading like romance books and fantasy books, to like throw in one of these, because I think it's important to use a skill like reading to also grow a little bit. Okay, this book, switching gears, Pure Spice, that's pretty much all I know about this. And on the back it says, he's a priest and here is his confession. Should I read it? I'll read it for you. There are many rules a priest can't break. A priest cannot marry, a priest cannot abandon his flock, a priest cannot forsake his God. Tyler Bell has had no problem playing by the rules for the last 3 years after a family tragedy set him on the path to priesthood. That all changes when the delicious, sultry voice of Poppy Danforth sinks its claws in him through the screen of his confessional booth, and he can't get her sins out of his head. It should be easy to put his impure thoughts of her to rest, considering the vows Tyler has taken. It should be nothing to overcome what the sight and sound of her does to him, when his life with the church means everything. Once he has his first forbidden taste of those red lips, Tyler can't help but break all his rules for Poppy, no matter what it might cost them both. And apparently it's a series. I see right here. There's also Sinner and Saint, but I've heard and seen this book around, so I kind of had to pick it up, and I think it's just a good like balance between everything else that I got. We just throw in one really good spicy book. So I've heard so many people talk about this book, and I'm so excited to read it, because the last like thriller or mystery book that I read was A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and that was like one of my first 5-star reads in a really long time. Like since I've started my reading journey, that has probably been my first 5-star read. But everybody's talking about The Paris Apartment, and all I know, it's a murder mystery. It says meet the seven, where did I get it literally doesn't say 7 on here anywhere. Meet the residents of number 12 Rue des Amates. A beautiful old apartment building in the city of light. The socialite, the nice guy, the alcoholic, the girl on the verge, the concierge. Everyone's a neighbor and everyone's a suspect. And everyone knows something that they're not telling. Murder mystery. So excited for it, honestly. Truly, truly, truly so excited. A lot of the other books that I got were romance. Throw this in here amidst all the spice and niceties. I think will be a good taste of something different. King of Wrath by Anna Huang. This is like forced marriage, romance. That's all I know about it. I'm excited. Everybody says such good things about this. And this is also part of a series. You know, for somebody who doesn't like series, I have an awful lot of them in this book haul. I'm excited. That's all I can say. I saw somebody get this as a blind book date, and the description of it was just so amazing, and I would definitely have probably picked that book up too. And she got this book, so I already had it when I saw the TikTok, so I'm very excited to read it. On the Anna Huang train, I have the Twisted series. So I have Twisted Games, which is book 2. I have Twisted Hate, which is book 3, and Twisted Lies, which is book 4, and I got all of these on Amazon Prime Day. They were like really, really cheap, and I have never seen these books that cheap, which was amazing, and so I got all 3. I didn't get the first one because, I don't know if you can see it, but it's down here. It's the one in the middle right there. And again, I started off buying the first one of the series, haven't started it, but I figured since they were on Amazon Prime Day that I'd pick it up and I would finish out my series. I honestly need to start more series because for some reason I just don't start them. I think I just need to pick up the first book of more series, and then maybe I'll finish them. Oh, I did read the Inheritance Games, which I loved, and I have the second book, The Hawthorne Legacy. It is right here, and I just haven't picked it up. But I really did enjoy the Inheritance Games, but I don't know what it is. It's just too much of a commitment for me for some reason. The first book is actually a box set, and I got it from Target of all places. This is the Shatter Me series. It comes with 6 books. It's still in the cute little like box set case. I'm so excited for this. I've heard everyone talking about this series. There's a couple that I heard everyone talking about, and this is one of them, and I was kind of scared to pick this series up because I've heard like weird things about it. I got this and I'm very excited about it. However, I also got another box set, which I wasn't planning on getting, again because I have so many things on my physical TBR and not a lot of space for books anymore. This is my bookshelf with those books, and I just bought that and it's already filling up, so I might need another bookshelf. Yeah, and I have a Kindle, but that doesn't stop me from buying these. But I also got the ACOTAR series. I know everybody is talking about it, I know, and I'm so late to the train, but like I just had to, and I hate series, but I don't hate them, I just don't feel as satisfied if I just don't complete the entire thing versus a standalone. You finish it and it's done and over with. I'm just excited about it though, and I just had to get the whole box series because I wasn't just gonna get one. Apparently I need them all before I can even pick up the first one, so that's kind of how I felt about the ACOTAR series. I don't know when I'm gonna start it because I know I could either get completely sucked into this world, or I don't want to read it and like have an unpopular opinion about it. So I'm kind of on the fence when I'm gonna start it, but I got it anyway in the case that I do want to start it. I got 2 other books because I had read A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, so I picked up this one. This is As Good as Dead. This is the final book of the series, which again, love it so much. I love that first one. And I also bought the second one to the series, which is Good Girl Bad Blood. I only have a few books left in this haul. The absolute hell that I was put through to get these books is honestly worth it, but I can't believe the length that I went to get these books, but I couldn't be happier that I have them. So let's start off with the very first one, Fourth Way. I had extreme FOMO when it came to this book. I'm sure you've heard and listened to countless TikToks, YouTube videos of everybody reading this book, and I finally got my hands on one of them. It was so hard to get a hold of this book. I went to countless Barnes and Nobles, countless Targets, could not find it for the life of me, and I just happened to check Walmart and they had them, so I had to pick it up. I'm so excited to read it. I was a big Game of Thrones fan, and apparently it's very similar with the dragons and the romance and all of that. Like I said, I had extreme FOMO, and to be honest, I'm stoked, like stoked to read it. I wish I would have gotten the like sprayed one, but I literally couldn't even find like the normal one for a long time. So when I found this, I was like, I don't even care about the sprayed sides or anything because now I have it and I can read it, and that's the only thing I cared about. So I'm so excited, and I'm not a big fan of hardcovers. Like if it comes in a paperback, I'm getting a paperback. If it doesn't come in a paperback, I'm glad I have a Kindle now because I usually just buy it on there if they don't have a paperback. But it was just something about like physically having this book with me that I needed. So when I found it, my heart... So I'm probably going to read this sometime soon, because before you know it, by the time I read this book, the next book is going to come out that everybody raves about, and then I'm going to feel FOMO about that book and not have even read this one. So the last books of this haul, I don't even know if I should go into the amount of work that it took me to get these books. The hours I spent researching and finding them for it not to even work out is just like crazy to me. So I watch a lot of booktubers, and I wanted this book for so long, but I kept buying more and more books that like every time I came around to buying that one, for some reason I was like, okay, like I'll just buy it another time, like there's no need for me to buy it now. I just bought like 12 other books, so I just never got around to it. I wish I would have just bought it when I did, because you will know when I pick this up. The amount of trouble that I had finding this original copy. So I didn't buy it until she was going to be changing the covers, and as soon as I heard that, I flew to Barnes & Noble to try and get this specific book and this specific original cover. They already took them off the shelves. Nowhere to be found, nowhere to be bought online, and if they were going for like $70 a pop, and I wasn't gonna do that. Like I wasn't gonna do that. So I was able to find these on waterstone.com, which, thank you so much for still having these. But I loved it, and I was like, great, I can have the full series, like I'm just gonna buy all of them. And I was on the website, and I didn't realize that they had multiple options for the books. If you know like the series and you know what I'm talking about, you know where I'm going with this. So I got this first one, opened my package like a week or so later, so happy, and I was like, oh my gosh, like this is amazing and I love it, I'm so excited. I have the original copies, and then I got the rest of the series in the mail. Beautiful covers, obviously. Like, are you kidding? Are you kidding? Are you kidding? But here's the issue. These all match in size, in color. Why? Literally, why? I'm so upset. So now I have 3 that match and 1 that doesn't. I wanted them all to be this size, and I guess I didn't realize when I bought it on their website that there were different sizes. Like, I don't think I've experienced that with any other books before. But I have them, I can read them, it's not a big deal, but it's just not gonna look good on my bookshelf. And that's literally why I wanted the physical copies, because I could have got them on my Kindle. Like, if I really wanted them to read, I could have just got them on my Kindle. But I wanted them specifically to look so cute on my bookshelf, because the spines match but they're different colors. And to me that was just like so cool. And then when I heard Jessa Hastings was replacing the covers, I knew I had to get the original ones because I just love them so much. And then I heard 2 days ago that she is re-releasing the original covers. So I went through all of that, and she's now releasing the old covers back, which I'm happy, because she like listened to all of us who just really appreciated her original covers and artwork of her friend. So I'm happy I have them to read them, because I'm also like the biggest Gossip Girl fan. I just rewatched Gossip Girl with my boyfriend as well, and he was like completely hooked, which I wasn't expecting, but he loved it too. So because it's over and I've rewatched it like 4 times at this point, how cool is it that I get to get a little bit more of like a Gossip Girl feel, but in a book? Like 2 of my favorite things combined. I'm just super excited to read it, but scared, because a lot of people say they get into a really big book slump after they read it because it's that good. So I'm just so excited that I have the original covers because gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Do I wish that they were all the same size? Of course. Did I realize that they had different options? No, because if not I would have checked, but it's okay. As long as I get to read it and I have the original covers, like, I'm so happy about it. So that is actually all that I have for this book haul. All that I have. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't think that was all of them. I don't think all of them have come in the mail yet. So I think that's it for my haul. I'm so excited to be reading these books. I do want to start doing like some reading vlogs and read with me's and some book challenges and stuff. And I know, I kind of just want to preface this too, that I think I said this earlier in the video, I am not the fastest reader. I'm truly not. But do I enjoy reading? Of course, 100% I do. I think that when some people watch like booktubers, at least for me, when I watch booktubers and TikTokers who are on Book Talk and they're reading like a book a day or like 17 books in a month, of course, like, I envy that and I want to be a person who does something like that. Truth is, I just don't really have the time or like the space to always be able to sit down and read a book, but when I do, I enjoy it so much. And I kind of just want to say that to anybody who's watching this who maybe they can only read a book in like 2 months or in a month. As long as you enjoy reading, that's okay too. Like, you are still valid in being a booktuber or a TikToker or just somebody who loves and wants to talk about books. Just because you don't read as many as some other people might, that doesn't mean that you can't enjoy them or you can't make a YouTube video or YouTube videos about loving books. So that's just what I have to say about it. I have so many books, but honestly I will not get to all of these for a long time. But that's okay. But when I have them in my collection and I am ready to read them, it's like picking from your own little library, and I kind of love that. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you come along with me on my reading journey. I'm super excited to share it online. Yeah, and then maybe we can talk about some books in the comments. Make sure to subscribe if you like this kind of content. And leave me a comment down below if you're reading a book currently and what book it is and how you're enjoying it so far. And other than that, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.